Hello and welcome to Z-Axis. Today we're going to look at the pick-and-place process for surface mount technology PCB assembly. But first, a quick look at the beginning. It starts with our electrical engineers designing a circuit. Then a designer creates a board layout showing part placement and routing of traces. From this layout, we procure printed circuit boards with a circuit printed on it and a corresponding solder paste stencil and all of the components. And now we're ready to begin SMT assembly. We are using high-speed, high-mix SMT assembly lines with pick-and-place machines from Micronic. They're optimized for flexibility to quickly change from one project to the next and do a mix of low to mid-volume runs very efficiently. To get started, boards are fed into the automatic stencil printer, which puts down a layer of solder paste on the printed circuit. The solder paste is tiny beads of metal solder in a tacky flux that adheres to the metal areas on the printed circuit board. Then the board is fed into the pick-and-place machine. Hollow nozzles use vacuum to pick up parts and then place them into the solder paste on the board. These are dual head machines. Each head picks up 8 parts, places them, and goes back for more, while the second head is placing a different group of parts. That red flash is the machine vision system. With each flash, it takes a picture of the parts and uses that information to rotate and translate each nozzle so that every part is perfectly aligned to its pad on the board within microns. The automatic tool changer switches to different nozzles as needed for different parts. The machine vision system can also detect any visual part defects, like bent leads. The machine will reject a bad part and grab the next one from the feeder. Different part feeders handle the different types of component packages: reels for high-volume parts, tube feeders for larger parts, and trays for things like BGAs. This automated tray handling system allows us to load up a lot of trays and let the machines run longer without manual intervention. The Micronic SMT lines have the fastest changeover in the industry. They also have a great feature of testing passives for value and diodes for polarity whenever a new reel is loaded. This prevents waste and rework if we get a mislabeled reel, which is surprisingly common in the supply chain. The line control software uses kitting and part commonality to minimize feeder loading between jobs. Every reel, tube, or tray has a barcode, which we associate to the barcode on the feeder when it is loaded. This gives us a really powerful capability for part traceability. We can store manufacturer and date code of every component on every batch of SMT assemblies we produce. Each of our lines has 2 different pick-and-place machines to fully place each board. Line balancing software uses input from the board layout files to determine which machine will place which parts for highest efficiency. This usually means that the My300HX, Micronic's fastest machine, will place most of the smaller parts at up to 33,000 per hour, and then the My300EX will place the larger or odd-shaped parts at up to 10,000 parts per hour. The 2 identical lines and the flexibility of the system let us respond to last-minute customer demand changes and easily work in scheduled maintenance. And that's a quick look at the SMT pick-and-place process. The next machine in each line is a reflow oven. In this oven, the solder melts and reflows, then hardens to bond the components into place and form the electrical connections. Then each board is inspected using the automated optical inspection system. After that, a lot of different things could happen to finish the assembly. It might go through the SMT process again for the second side. It will be cleaned if needed, depaneled, maybe have through-hole components added by machine or by hand, go through burn-in, get a protective conformal coating, and be packaged in custom trays for shipment. Check out our related videos on these topics, or contact us to schedule a tour of our facility near Rochester, New York.